Dramatic scenes as Australia's self-proclaimed neo-Nazi leader, Thomas Sewell, was arrested outside court today in the heart of Melbourne.
This is what happens in the tyranny of Victoria. You're under arrest for defending yourself.
Sewell bundled into the back of a paddy wagon for unleashing violence on an Indigenous cab after the weekend of ugly protests around the country. The serial pest earlier hijacked a press conference by the Victorian Premier.
Do we need to pause for tea?
Hey, Jacinda Allen, why don't you think Australians should have the right to protest? Hey, Jacinda, don't put your hands on me. Why do you want to ban us for protesting? Shouldn't we have the right to speak in our own country, you coward? Shouldn't we have the right to speak in our own country, you coward? Have your goons attacked me? You're a coward. And we're going to take this country back from politicians like you.
Joining me now is Jeff Schoep, who was once America's most notorious neo-Nazi. Jeff, looking at that press conference outburst and that arrest today, what do you see?
I see somebody that's taking advantage of opportunities to get their name in the press and get their organization in the press.
He is the leader of Australia's neo-Nazis. That was you not so long ago in the US, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The tactics are almost exactly the same. It's like they're using the exact same blueprint.
Do you think that Thomas Sewell has modelled himself on you?
I see a lot of myself in those videos and in that behavior, and I've been there, I've done that. I understand what it's like. I understand how you get to that point, but I also understand how to get away from that point and how to fix those issues.
So what would be going through the minds of a neo-Nazi leader or his supporters? They're full of anger, they're full of hate, but do you think that neo-Nazis believe what they're doing is evil?
Absolutely not. They believe that they're doing something good and they're doing something noble. They believe they're patriots. They believe that they are serving their country and they're protecting the white race. This was the same mindset that I had when I was involved in that, and that's very typical. I think from the outside looking in, a lot of us see these organizations, these radical organizations, and think to ourselves, well, gee, these guys must know what they're doing is evil or that it's wrong, but they don't see it that way. And I think it's because it's important to understand the mentality. Otherwise, you're just shouting into the wind.
Some of the violence that we've seen and the charges that have been laid as a result of the attack on the Indigenous camp, what do you view that sort of behaviour as?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, because I can tell you when I was involved in the neo-Nazi movement, if men were hitting women, that was a problem. We usually answered that with violence against the men that were doing that sort of thing. It didn't matter what the context was. But if that's the kind of behavior your organization is involved in, where's the honor in that? Where's the dignity in that? And how can you justify a man hitting a woman? You know, this is cowardice at the lowest level. Even
though that's the claim that he levelled against the Victorian Premier, calling her a coward today.
Yeah, it's the pot calling the kettle black, isn't it?
So, Jeff, you now call yourself a peace builder. You're in Australia for a major anti-Semitism summit. You say that Australia is real parallels between what happened in America. How do we stop the rise of extremism?
The best way to stop the rise of extremism is through education. If we can educate youth so they never get involved in this stuff in the first place, have open-minded questions, let them discuss, let them meet people from other cultures and other religions, other ethnicities, learn about that culture and be able to openly ask questions about it, that will take away some of that fear of the differences.
The problem is, though, neo-Nazis are hijacking very real concerns of Australians, and thousands turned out for the March for Australia demonstrations that happened all around the country over the weekend. You observed the march in Melbourne. How do you stop legitimate protests becoming recruitment drives for extremists?
Well, and this is very intentional on the part of the neo-Nazi movement. They specifically wanted that validation to be there at those protests, and they are valid concerns that many groups have and many Australians have, to be out there and be part of this march and air those grievances. And that's something that is important, that we should be able to do in democracies. But what we don't need to be doing is the groups that are behind that is to platform the neo-Nazis by allowing them to speak. It's one thing to say anybody can come to this rally, invite everybody, everybody's welcome, that's fine. But when you platform them to speak, you're giving them that podium, you're giving them that legitimacy.
And what do you say to young people attracted to this sort of ideology?
For young people, you know, you can tell them don't do this, don't do it, it's wrong. That's not the best approach, but the best approach, I think, is to show them how it's wrong. And I can tell you from personal experience, I lived that life. I was involved in that movement for 27 years. And when you're involved in it, I can tell you it brings nothing but destruction and chaos into the lives of not just yourself, but everybody around you. It affected my family. It uprooted my mother's career. It caused difficulties for my children growing up. It was just nonstop havoc and destruction.
And Thomas Sewell directly referenced Hitler today. We know there are ripple effects from hate speech. If you could speak one-on-one to him, what would you say?
Change your life now. If you value your life or you value your country, you consider yourself a patriot, then be a patriot. Don't be somebody that's dividing the country, that's pitting people against the other races and things like that. There's many proud people here in this country of all different races that would align with a lot of the mission. But when you're out there dividing the country and spewing hate and embracing Adolf Hitler and things of that nature, it's going to lead to one of two things: prison or death. There's nothing good that can come out of this, and it's not serving your country. It's not doing good.
Jeff Schoep, thanks for your time.
Thank you.